Kalevala Legends is here in multiplayer. So in this video, I'm going to walk through the course and show you different lines on each hole with varying levels of risk. So you can decide how much you want to absolutely go for the best possible shot, how much you want to play at moderate risk, try to just get the eagle, how much you get really aggressive, and see if you can take down the albatross and take strokes on the entire card. Starting out on Kalevala 1. I guess you're first going to see, because of this wind, what the over-the-top play is. I'm going to go with a sticky musket. You can also do a water skip sapphire. Slide right to open it up a little bit. What you really have to clear here is these birds that the middle chevron's pointing at. So get above them and let the wind push you out there pretty far and up onto this landing zone. You're going to be pretty close to be able to get your putt in. If you don't have that big helping wind, or even better here, a right to left wind, switch to forehand and take your glide fairway driver. For me, it's the glide sapphire. Glide grace, glide sampo does the same thing. Aim down low here and get under everything, one tree to beat, and slide up to the basket this way. This hole does not have an ace run that I know about. That's a clean, safe ace run for the miss. Kalevala 2 is tricky because of the green. You need to get over the bottom chevron's pointing here, these big roots by the base of the basket, but there's also the danger behind it. Probably the best play is to hit the wall behind the basket. So that's going to be our target. With this 3-wind helping it out here, I'm just going to go easily over the right side, give it a bit of hyzer to get over this tree, and try to have us crash into this back wall. And this is about perfect what we're going for. Trying to crash into that back wall. Going to be right here for the tap and birdie. If you don't have as much of a helpful wind, you can still do it. Here in a right to left wind, take a glide tweener disc. Typically that's a distance driver that does not have glide. So this is a water skip sticky paradigm. Remember, you go on forehand at this one and throw it forehand out the gap here. You might end up a little bit behind these roots. Most of the time, you're going to kick out to someplace where you're still going to have a good look at the basket. If we get one with a calm wind, we can see a calm wind line. This works. Still the glide sapphire. We're still aiming for that back wall in case we get far enough, but we're probably not going to quite make it there. This one's even checking up a little bit early. Oh, did jump over the roots there. What I wanted to show, I'll show one more time. If it falls down early, you can still manage getting up and over that root, just with a little bit of finagling, if you will, on the throw-in. Let's take water skip sapphire this time. See if we can get it down here to stay. There we go. It's down. So the throw-in, with the basket a little bit blocked, take your fuse or your typical throw-in disc, move your aim up, instead of right on the basket, up to that top, the bottom chevron on the distance marker, and take 40 feet of power off. It's going to fade a little bit here too. So this will be about 110 on the regular power, 40 feet of power off, has me going about 70. And just get a little bit extra lob, you can save that birdie. Here on Kalevala 3, your main play is just get down to the bottom. A forehand with your tweener disc works again here. Miss the one tree, or even hit that tree a little bit, not so bad. It gets down here pretty far. If you don't have a tweener disc, you can take something like a diamond, an understable fairway. Throw it on the backhand down this gap as well. Again, down onto the green. We'll be able to get out from behind this tree to make the throw-in attempt. Or, if you don't even have the understable fairway, you can also take something like your glide sapphire or your glide fairway. Heck, even a glide rive, just around the right side here, and penetrate through all of this to give that kind of a safe ace run with the rive or your distance driver coming around that right side as well. Kalevala 4 is a really fun hole. If you get a left to right wind, you're totally in business here. Eagle is in play. no matter what the wind is, except maybe a four headwind. Birdie is something that feels like a miss. Take an understable glide skip distance driver. Paradigm works, Captain works, DD works. Slide right to open up the angle, aim up to the left, and then give it the anhyzer around the top here. This one's a little bit overturned, and this one tree is probably what's going to take the eagle out of play. I have a long way down here. I'm going to take the glide, or the accurate, what is this disc? The water skip sticky paradigm, see if I can split the gap here. If I can split the gap there, we potentially still have a look for the eagle. That was not a good split, but we got the good ground play and a chance to even still get the eagle from here. So where even a bad drive has the ability to save that eagle for you. Try it again, see if we have a different wind or a better drive. I'm going to go paradigm, aim up to the left, and give the anhyzer. You want this miss to be a little bit to the right, more so than the left. That was bad ground play, but as we saw, we can still make the throw down to the green. We're not aiming for the ship, even if we get close. We're aiming down to the left side of the shore there. And the left side of the shore sets us up for that 100-foot or so throw in, which is still a very doable, very gettable eagle for this throw in. If we get a really terrible wind, or see if we can get one where we actually get a good skip down there, we have a little bit of a different play. This is not quite as overturned, so again, we're up here. If this one doesn't get down, I'm going to cut these clips. So if you're watching this means this one's about to be a good drive. Over to the right, get some good skip down the hill. There we go. There's a skip down the hill where we're getting close enough that it's tempting to consider going for that ship. I still think the better play, even this close, is to take the layup out to the left side and rely on your throw-in skills. Well, don't throw it in the water like that. Out to the left side, a bit safer, and rely on your throw-in skills to be able to finish up into the basket for your last eagle like here. Pretend that one didn't happen. 90 feet. We'll go 80. And get the last throw in for what would be eagle if I didn't have that one OB in the water. Kalevala 5 is a tricky one. The whole goal of this hole is to get in that tunnel. I go with a light glide paradigm, but the top chevron just above the top of that distance marker, and we take a little bit of power off the full power drive. This should turn it just enough to get into entryway and slide up to have a good look for the eagle. You typically don't want to go glide skip on this shot because glide skip has the potential of going long and going OB that way. There's another line you can take, glides or skip sapphire, aim out to the left and give it to the anhyzer to turn it over. This one's a little bit underturned, so going to leave me with a longer throw-in potential from here. This isn't the worst get into this spot, 142. It's a doable eagle, but it's still a tough one for sure. I'm going to go about 150 power. And that's a little bit top, but we're okay taking the birdie there. The skip sapphire is a play. The skip sampo with the lower fade is much easier to get going through there. You can go with a glide, water skip, rive, something like that, slide left still, and try and get the anhyzer just right to get it through. And this certainly can work, but powering down a driver as a natural turn to it and go straight is going to be a much better chance at getting through onto the screen in order to have a good look for the eagle. The miss that you really want to avoid, especially in something like King of the Course, is missing the tunnel bad enough that you're going OB. This wind has me actually going with the rive because the wind is going to give it the turn. And this is going to be a bad shot. See, I gave us way too much hyzer. It's actually tough to get as bad as I thought. If you go OB out to the left side, then you have the drop zone. Let's go real bad here. You have the drop zone, which is really far away here. And you don't really have much of a shot for getting the eagle from here, except or the birdie even, because you're trying to save it. A long shot made with a river, 238 feet, whatever your throwing disc is for that shot, is going to be a tough save. So the name of the game here Get yourself through that opening, typically a light glide paradigm or captain, something with a natural turn, through the opening, and that's the win. Once you get through here, you're in money position to be able to throw in and take your eagle. And the eagle here is pretty much going to always be strokes on the field. So a lot of people are going to be missing this, especially with there's heavy wind. Kalevala Legends 6. This is the one where you can go for the eagle. It's actually a pretty safe run for eagle, despite the lava that's up there. Or you can play the safe layup. So first, the safe layup is going to be just your musket or your sticky fairway driver out to this first landing zone, staying away from the lava. That cut it a little bit close. And then a simple throw in, probably your windbreak mid. Will get here just fine. This is the fuse for me. Plenty of distance to be close enough to get that throw in for a pretty simple birdie. Now, if you want to get a little bit more aggressive, you're going to be going with a glide skip driver. Typically, it's a paradigm for me, but the glide skip drive works fine in this wind as well. Actually, if you see in this, it's because it's pretty cool. I'm going to keep it in a light glide paradigm. I think that wind might be able to get me all the way there in the air. Can it get it? Get up. Nope, it doesn't. We're going to cut that. That's the layup. If you want to get a little bit more aggressive, something like a paradigm, aim it down right near the basket. You want to just miss this one tree. If you hit the tree, it's not that bad. Just miss that tree, and this will skip us up there. Almost always going to be clearing the lava on the skip. And it gets you right inside the helmet for the easy look at the eagle. So this is a hole. It's going to be decision time when it comes up. Do you want to take the safe play and throw something like a sticky musket out there for the first landing zone, and then another sticky musket or a sticky fairway again into the green? 249, the fees will definitely get here this time. These skulls, I think it's skulls, around the basket will very likely slow you down. Or are you going to get a bit more aggressive and go out with your skip driver, like a paradigm or even a rive, and try to get the perfect skip like this is looking good, right up the gap, over the lava, and be here for the eagle. It's all about decision making. If it's a tough wind, you might consider the layup and gain strokes on the field. If it's an easy wind, the top players are probably going to be eagling that most of the time. Kalevala 7. It's one that's a very scary looking hole, but it's so easy, really just going straight at it. Take the fuse, slide right to open up the gap, aim right in the basket, give it a little bit of hyzer to account for the turn that the fuse has. You'll land on this middle island and straight up here for the easiest birdie. Now, there's certainly other ways to attack this hole. I've seen people go at it just by going long. So we're going to take the musket over the top for an example. Try to land on this backside. A little bit shorter than I would have liked. And you can come at it from the backside there as well. Probably going more with the sapphire rather than the musket. It's the accurate water skip sapphire. A sticky sapphire, probably even a better shot for that. And you get to the backside here and have a good look. 97 feet or so. It's not terrible for this birdie. I think the easiest way still is straight up that gut with a fuse. A glide putter will do it. Most mids will do it. The whole thing here is just make sure you're accounting for the turn of the fuse and the wind. You're not going to go long. Just make sure it's straight, and you're going to slide up straight to this basket for a very, very easy birdie. Kalevala 8. For a long time, I hated this hole. I was trying to figure out how I could throw a distance driver down over there to give an ace run at it and just hope I got close. How I could even lay up, I was struggling with the layup until I realized, thanks to some guys on Discord helping out, you can just go accurate sticky musket and right at the base of this tree and give it a straight pullback. Because this ground is so slick, it's going to slide pretty far up there anyway. It got a root there. For this throw, I got to 111. I learned with the jury, I could take the top chevron right on the chains and give it a straight pullback. And that saved the eagle so easy from about 100 to like 130 feet is that same shot there. That said, this is a hole that's very high risk, high reward. So if you want to play it safe, that's something to consider. I think the eagle play is pretty safe here if you're confident hitting this gap, especially in a one wind. It's going to get up here. This time a little more ground play, and we'll throw in this one with the fuse, adding about 20 feet of power for it. So this is your moderate aggressive play. The hyper aggressive play is going with the rive, or whatever your distance driver is, aiming down here over to the left and trying to give an ace run at it. The whole idea here is hopefully, if you're close enough to miss, you're hitting an axe that I just went flying past. There's a lot of safety out here to the left, and still going to be birdie most of the time. Even with this big wind, we can throw like 150 to get some slide up here. And it's pretty easy to get the comebacker, to get the birdie after going for that ace. If you're not comfortable with the ace run, totally reasonable. You're not comfortable getting there for the birdie, back way off, take a mid-range, and throw a mid-range out to this middle landing zone. And this is playing it like you would play a true par 4 in real life, playing for birdie. Mid-range to the landing zone. Your next landing zone you're going for, don't try to go for the top. If you miss, you're going to be down the backside. Go for a landing zone over here out to the right side, and just plan on throwing in with a little bit of elevation to deal with and trying to get into this basket. Down this low, I'm not even going to go with the putting motion. It could be difficult to get the power just right and adjusted for that distance and that much elevation change. So just aim up a little bit and throw in your power to adjust for that basket height. And finally, Kalevala 9. This is one where actually albatross is in play if you want to go for it. As long as you have a helping wind, you can take your flippy skippy driver, slide right to open up the angle a bit, aim down to the left. Again, make sure you get to this mando, or those crossed swords up there. Aim down to the left and see if you can turn it over just right. Hugging the very right side of the mando is what puts the albatross in play. This far over, realistically in multiplayer, you could take a look at going for albatross for this. If it's an event, the better play is actually aiming over here to the side of the basket. And you could snug up on this side to be close enough and have a pretty simple look for eagle from here. So that's one option, is going over to this side of the basket after you get close. We'll take another drive at this. This wind is going to push us far out to the left, so realistically, albatross is not going to be in play on this one. It's a matter of seeing if we even get through the mando. We are going to just sneak through the mando, which is fine. As long as you're through the mando, you're in a position to be able to look at the potential of the eagle here. This is rolling down nicely to give us some more angle. There's another spot to the left of the basket, kind of just over that hillside. See if I can get it with a tempo here, where I can gather the disc. And this is it I'm going for, right in this little pit. We'll gather the disc and have you at a good height again to be able to go for that eagle. So you can go left side, you can go right side. You can try to go straight at it for the albatross if you have that good wind that's going to let you get really close, cutting that right side. Close, see how close we can cut it here while they go through, or it's going to be real bad. This is potential to just sneak through. This is looking great. Skip up over the lava, and you can get real close going aggressive like that and be right on the green to get an albatross as a potential aggressive look. So make your choice here. Eagle probably is going to be in play most of the time. Albatross is in play if you want to get aggressive.